so excited to be here with Latesha Byrd, the founder and CEO of Byrd Career Consulting. Latesha, thank you so much for being here with us and for your work and for agreeing to speak at the Phoenix Rising Virtual Summit, which is happening on April 19th, 2020.
Thank you. I'm so excited to be here speaking with you all. I'm so excited for the conference. We're just a couple of days away, so I can't wait to just meet everyone.
Same. Likewise, I follow you. I've been taking your advice about LinkedIn and about networking. So I'm going to get my entire life with your remarks on Sunday. Yes. I'm making sure all my stuff is tight, and I know everybody else will too. So before we get into that, though, could you talk a little about your work and what you do and the ways that you currently help folks?
Yes. So I am the CEO of Byrd Career Consulting. I started my company in 2015. So I've been an entrepreneur now for 5 years, full-time entrepreneur for 2 years. And over the past 5 years, my company has served close to 1,000 professionals in a variety of industries, all 100% women employed company, excited about that. And so what we do is we basically provide digital branding resources and guidance to professionals that are seeking new employment, looking to land their dream job, or really just want to level up professionally. And so the services that we offer includes resume and LinkedIn makeovers, interview coaching, as well as career coaching, which is what I love to do personally. I really like to help women of color seek, find success in their careers. You know, as you know, we are significantly underpaid in corporate and just in the workplace in general. And so I'm all about helping women just level up so we can get that coin. And I love what I do every day. I think everyone should, right? Money's important. And I love what I do every day. And so even outside of money, just being able to find that fulfillment and happiness, I think is extremely crucial to really being happy in our lives. And so that's what I do outside of running my business. I also teach part-time. I'm an adjunct instructor with North Carolina A&T State University, one of the oldest HBCUs based in Greensboro, North Carolina. And I've been teaching with the business of, the College of Business and Economics now for 2 years.
That's awesome. Fantastic. And so that really does help people understand your point of view as we get ready to talk about what you will do and talk about at the summit. But we want to take a moment right now because there's so much going on in the world, which is the reason that we're even doing this virtual summit in the first place. Talk to us about what the impact of this current pandemic and crisis has been to you personally and professionally.
So much.
All the things.
It's big all the things. I will say that it has affected me, personally and professionally. My father lost his job, and he was working there for, over 15 years, close to 20 years. Wow. In terms of my business, definitely lost out on some bags. I had super excited really going into this year because I was like, 2020 is going to be my year. I say that every year, but I knew for sure it was going to be the year. I was coming off of a high because I moderated a panel at the Black Enterprise Women of Power Summit in Vegas. And that was phenomenal. And so I feel like I was really hitting my stride with some of the things that I had planned to launch. And then when this pandemic hit, I really had to just take a brief pause because my clients still depend on me and say, man, what am I going to do now? So I did have to shift around some of the things that I personally planned to launch because one, I did not feel at that particular moment that I should be launching a high ticket offer when people are really trying to figure out what's going on. I got my kids trying to work, they're not going to be in school. They have to be at home now. My spouse has to be at home. I got take care of my parents. I don't know what, how their health is. So there was just a lot of other worries in the world. And so I said, okay, well, what can I still do to provide value? I had about 4 to 5 speaking engagements that were all canceled. They were all, in person. And so again, that was lost money. But I can say, I had to take a step back and say, what can I do now? And I decided that I wanted to just add value. I didn't want to launch any new things at that particular time. I just wanted to add value. I wanted to add encourage or be an encourager. And so I took a weekend, did a bunch of research on how this pandemic will affect job searching. Okay, and then I created a video. And that video, y'all probably know how recording videos and making sure your lighting is right, and having your speech or your words all together. So it took me some hours. And so I released this video, and through that video, I basically just gave a bunch of knowledge that I had found through my research on what job seekers will need to know to further prepare them in advance in their job search during this time. And through posting that video, I had someone from Spectrum News, which is here in Charlotte, reach out to me. Had a couple of other TV stations reach out to me. And I feel like I found a new voice. Right. Because I don't know, it feels good for me to be able to provide encouragement and hope to so many at this time that feel like, man, I'm just gonna give up. I don't even think I should, even find a new job right now. So it did kind of start out rough, but I do think that things for me are picking back up. The other thing too, with my one-on-one coaching clients that I've seen is some of them, they're still good at their job. No jobs have been lost. Others have been laid off. Some have been promoted. Some of them are still getting interviews and getting new jobs. Some of my clients have had family or sick family members, like family members in the hospital. So I have just found different ways to, one, show up for them, as well as being a certified career coach. I'm also a certified life coach. So try to use my life coaching skills a little bit as well as the career coaching, and really just ask them about their emotional well-being and just asking them how they're doing. I'd like to push my clients and give them a lot of tough love, but I felt that at that moment when it first hit, it was important for me to ask them, like, how are you doing? How are you feeling? And let's just have a conversation. So it's affected, my family, it's affected my clients, it's affected how I've shown up, but I've really just tried to turn those lemons into lemonade.
Oh, I love that. I
Beautiful.
Really love that. We're calling this the Phoenix Rising Virtual Summit for a reason, right? Out of all of the crises and out of all the bad things, there are ways that you can emerge and not just survive, but also thrive. And it sounds like you're doing a really good job with that. Thank you. Love that you're welcome. And I love that you talk about both the personal and the professional, because both of those pieces are important, right? Okay. And you'll be bringing that to the virtual summit too. I know that your remarks will evolve around careers, but also around this whole concept of crisis proofing your life and your career. So could you give people a little bit of a taste of what they'll hear from you on Sunday?
Yes. I don't want to give too much.
Right, y'all got to register. Come on in.
The biggest and the most important question that I am getting right now is, should I still be applying to jobs? Or should I still be going after that promotion, going for, that raise? And first I'll address that first question. Should I still be looking for a job? What some of my clients have said is, no one's hiring right now. And I've had to quickly say, no, that's not the case. Right. I know that's what the media is saying. I mean, and we can say, like, a fact that's out there is that companies are laying off. There are budget cuts happening. Companies are losing out on a lot of money. And so they're having to take a look at their workforce and determine, do we still need to fill all of these roles, or maybe we have to scale back? Some companies have put on a hiring freeze. So I want to talk about job searching strategy for those that are looking for employment, for those that have been laid off as well, and how to fully commit to this process. Whenever someone asks me, should I look for a job? I don't care if it was a pandemic or if this was not a pandemic going on. What I always ask them is, are you willing to put in the work that it takes to get a job? You know, getting a job isn't just walking into, like, getting a car where you just walk into a dealership and you're like, okay, don't want a leather interior, don't want a cloth interior, don't want a sunroof. Okay? Like, there's no job dealership where you're like, okay, I want to manage a title. Okay, I want to work with this person. Like, so, you know, that's one thing that I always ask back to people is, are you willing to put in the work that it takes to get a job? Because this process can be disheartening. It can be discouraging. You can feel like the odds are stacked up against you. And I think it's really important for women, especially women of color, to be extremely strategic in how they maneuver through this process. And so the focus of my session will be around strategies for job searching, one, without losing, out or sacrificing your mental well-being. So when I talk about job search strategy, it's not just, here's the number of jobs you should apply to. Here's the job words you should be looking at. Here's what to do with your resume. Like, yes, we talk about those things, but I want to talk about how is this going to fill up your schedule? How is this going to fill up your space mentally? And how can you still devote being a mother, a wife, a teacher now, a caregiver to parents? Like, how can you still manage all of those things and also have time set aside and also have mental space to focus on your career goals? So I'll be sharing some strategies and techniques on how to do that. Now, for those that may not be looking for a job, but they are a little nervous right now, I also want to speak to those folks and get them to really think about, okay, my job is secure for now, maybe a month or two, I don't know. Or they could be thinking, my company just had one round of layoffs. They say more are coming. I'm not sure if I'm going to be affected. Also want to speak to those ladies as well, because there are things that you would likely want to do right now to make sure that you are prepared either way, right? And then for those that still love their work and they're good and they're chilling and they know they don't have anything to worry about, I'm sure you still have career goals that you want to meet this year. And so that's something that I want to speak to as well. So job seeking, just achieving your career goals or setting a plan during this time and how in the best way to do it.
That's fantastic. And there's something for everyone is really the takeaway, whether you are really secure in your current position, but you'd be giving advice about careers in the best of times for someone who is secure, but wants to figure out, is it time for me to upskill? Is it time to reskill? Is it time to take a step to the side? Sometimes you make a lateral move and it's a pure lateral move just for a different experience, because many times when people love their job but leave it, it's not about the job. It might be the manager or the place or the hours or all these other things. So there's something for that person as well. And that really brings so much to this idea of crisis proofing career and finance and mental health and well-being, which is what we're going to be doing at the summit, because it really is a whole heart and a whole health and a holistic approach to not just focusing on any one area, because they're all connected. And I know that your work speaks to that, and you are joining some phenomenal women who will be on this stage who all are stellar and experts in their chosen field. We have Lynette Khalfani-Cox, the money coach, who's going to be talking about from setbacks to success and thriving financially in any environment. We'll hear from Dr. Kathleen Walls talking about release the cry in crisis, which is a really, really powerful strategy of finding the way out of pain. And dealing with life's external stressors. We have Kailei Carr from Beyond the Business Suit, who's going to teach us how to discover our superpowers, which is amazing because we actually all do wear capes. We just don't have time to put them on because we're literally saving the world. Right?
Yes.
Amen.
We'll hear from Teri Ijeoma, who makes money in up and down markets. So I'll be paying particular attention to that. I actually did take her course and I've had great results with it. She is truly phenomenal in the work that she does. So she's on a mission to teach 1,000 people to make $1,000 a day. I have met and know these people. So she's walking the walk as well. We have Bärí Williams, who's a tech she is in technology, but also she's a legal eagle as well, like Shantavia and I. And she is going to be talking to us about prepare to pivot, contracting for crisis. So I can imagine there are a couple of things we all could have had in our contracts to at least have a kill fee, some type of residual something. So we took a little something away from the table. So we'll talk about that. And then finally, Stephanie Humphrey, Tech Life Steph, to help us gain a better understanding of what it means to be a great digital citizen now that we're all working from home and connecting in this way. What does that mean when you are really either creating or crafting your digital brand? I know you talk a lot about that as well. So you're an excellent company. We would attend this. We just happen to have the grace and good fortune to actually be co-hosts. We will be in the front taking all the notes.
We definitely will be in the front seat. And we also look forward to hearing from our other keynote, Minda Harts from the Memo LLC, who has been just Minda. Phenomenal. Oh my gosh, she's been amazing. She'll be helping us secure our seats from the house, which we all need to do right now, right?
Right.
So excited that you will be part of that number 2. And I'm just excited for our attendees. I mean, imagine being a college student and getting this information right now, right? Or in your 20s at the beginning of your career. Like many of us figured it out much later.
Right.
So we are just so excited to hear from all of our speakers and our 2 keynotes.
Awesome.
Any final words?
Just sign up. Sign up for the conference.
2 words. Sign.
That's it. 2 words. Sign up and bring your notebook, bring your pen. There might be times where you might need to cry it out. You know, I think that now community is more important than ever. So being a digital citizen and building a digital community is really key for us to get through this and to get through this together.
Absolutely. And we also want to make sure that you don't let finances be an impediment. We have some fantastic sponsors who are on board to underwrite the cost of attendance. So it's a win-win strategy. We want you to plant the seeds of your life because the future of work depends on you. Your future depends on you. Your family's future depends on you. And to have the opportunity to connect with like-minded spirits, we're all working on it together. There's really power in that connection that far exceeds any of the individual topics. What you will take away for just $49, or if you can reach out to us and we can find a comp for you, we will work it out. We want to see you on Sunday. We want you to rise from the ashes. We're all doing it together. Please go to phoenixrisingsummit.com and connect with us on social media. We're quite active there. You see my handle, IP Prof Evans. We will drop it everywhere so that we can connect with you and then continue the conversation. And Latesha Byrd, thank you. We look forward to seeing you on Sunday and rising together.
Thank you. Thank you, ladies.